Hi, Cathy here, and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be making my yummy chicken casserole. Now, but before I get into that, I want to explain to you how I came about this recipe. It was about a year ago. My sister Kelly had just given birth to her son Lucas. I love him to death. But I was thinking how I could, being the older sister, trying to figure out what I could do for her and help her, you know, when she gets home with the baby. Well, I was looking through some recipes and kind of combined three recipes together to come up with this one. And everybody seemed to love it. Now, before I get into the ingredients and how I made this recipe, there's something that I need to tell you. But you need to come close and you can't tell anyone because it's a secret. Okay? I used instant for everything. Now, the reason I used instant is because I'm really poor. I work 2 jobs, and that's mostly what I have in my cupboard, unless I go to my mom's for dinner, which is pretty much every night. So I used a breast of a rotisserie chicken, 1 box of instant stuffing. I used a 24-ounce package of frozen vegetables. I used a can of cream of chicken soup and 2 tablespoons of Philadelphia whipped cream cheese. Now on the stove, right now warming up till the process comes, is a 6 serving of instant mashed potatoes. And on here is 2 packages of instant gravy. Even if you don't have instant and you want to do, if you want to do it the real way, go ahead, by all means. But for me, instant's the way to go because I live by myself. So, you know, what's the point of making all of that when I want something comfortable and yummy? Okay, so I'm going to get started here and I'm going to empty my frozen veggies into my pan. Bowl. Okay, now from here, I'm going to take my 2 tablespoons of my Philadelphia whipped. And I want to tell you something from doing this whole thing. I have come to become the biggest, hugest fan of the whipped. I make it in I use it for everything. Everything. Okay, so I'm going to stir this in here. And next I want to add my cream of chicken soup. You want the entire can. So I tried actually doing this because the one bar that I work in, I work the last Sunday of the month. And we have to cook food for that last Sunday of the month. And so I thought I'd take this recipe and do it for them last fall. And I tried it making my own stuffing, and I honestly, seriously loved it more with the instant stuffing than the regular stuffing. I really didn't care for it that much. Okay, we got that all incorporated. You're going to see how really easy this is using the instant also. I'm going to take my rotisserie chicken. There's another thing that's really easy. And it tastes good too. I'm going to pour that. And make sure you stir it all around real good. Now you're going to see it's real thick. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add 3/4 of a can of milk. Now, the reason I use the can is because I like to get in there and get the rest of the soup that's on the edges off of it. And plus, I don't want to dirty another dish. Okay, so now I'm going to pour that into there, a little at a time, stir it up so it's nice and creamy. You can hear that cream. Okay, now I want to add the rest of the can. And as soon as you get that all stirred up like so, the next thing you want to do is get your 9x13 baking pan. Okay, now I'm going to take it, I'm going to spray it with a little bit of cooking spray, just so it doesn't stick. Now, normally it really won't stick because it's going to be creamy, but the thing is, it helps with the cleaning process also. Okay, let's bring my pan over here so you can see. And just pour it all in to your pan. Okay, next, your mashed potatoes. All nice and hot. Stir them around. Okay. And all you do is pour them. Now, remember, this was a 6 serving. You can do more or less if you want. That's totally up to you. But I find that this is plenty. Okay. Next you want to take and just spread it over the top like so. Just remember to follow the directions with everything on your instance. That's as hard as it gets. Follow the directions. Okay, next you want to take your stuffing, your instant stuffing, and just pop it on top. Pop it on top, pop it on top. Okay, so I've just finished putting the stuffing on. So now I have to do the last step to this, okay? Follow me over here. Okay, so remember this is the 2 packages of the instant gravy. Chicken gravy, that is. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spoon it over the top. Now you might have leftover, or this is something that's going to have to depend on how much you want. Okay? But for me, I like to save a little because I like to pour it on at the end over everything. This meal is great for anybody, I'm telling you. It's so simple. All you have to do is just follow the directions of the packet. I can't stress that much because it's like when you get it out of the oven, you'll see in a bit. When I get it out, it's gonna look so fantastic and bubbly, and people are gonna think you spent hours and hours and hours on it, and really it didn't take very long to put together. It's a matter of how long it takes to do the mashed potatoes and stuffing and the gravy. The gravy takes no time at all. Okay, now I'm gonna get ready to put it in the oven, and I have my oven preheated at 350. And I'm going to bake this for about 35-40 minutes until it's nice and bubbly hot. The only thing that really needs to be cooked in here are the vegetables. And with the vegetables, what I did was, when everything was cooking and my stove was preheating, I just threw the frozen vegetables on top to kind of defrost them a little bit so it wasn't so much, it won't take so long. Okay? So I'm going to put this in the oven and then I'll come back with the delicious final product. Okay, so I'm back and I've taken the casserole out of the oven, and I let it set for about a minute or 2 because I want to let the cream inside kind of come together a little bit so it's not so runny. Okay, let's get cutting. Right. Get the camera in here and see this deliciousness. It's piping hot. Right. And I have a confession for you. My friends had to leave, my videographer actually, and they've already eaten half of it. I just want to let you know, you guys, that this is such a comforting casserole that you're going to feel like your mom made it. You're going to feel all comfy, cozy, like you're at home. I hope you all enjoy it. And don't forget your Philadelphia whipped cream cheese that goes in it also. Everything else is, remember what?